Hello and welcome to another edition of AttractWell Office Hours. I'm Coach Ashley, joined today by founder of AttractWell, Greg Kilwine. Hey, Greg.
Hello, everyone. Really glad you're here today.
We are. We're excited to be here today. We've got a lot to get into. And so I want to welcome you guys. If you're new here, welcome. We're excited to have you. And I see a lot of familiar names here as well. Excited to have you guys back. This is a free call that we offer just about every Thursday of the year, unless it's a major holiday. And it's a great opportunity for you to get to know AttractWell. And then, of course, really importantly, how to put AttractWell to use to reach these goals that you might have in your business. Today, we're going to be talking about page forms and all of their varied capabilities in AttractWell, where you can use page forms to collect data and do with it what you want, including performing actions that influence the experience of the end user that's maybe visiting your website, whether that be a lead, a client, etc. Right? So we've got a lot to cover, but before we get into it, I want to share with you a couple of quick things. Number one, we have reopened our Black Friday specials. So I want to just show you guys here real quick. And if you have questions about any of this, please feel free to ask away in the Q&A here on the live call. First and foremost, if you are a member of our valued community, we have live cohorts that we offer in January, and that this coming year is no different. And we are selling these seats right now during Cyber Week. There is an all-in option for $497 or $597, depending on whether or not you have already the Impact Amplifier Academy. But on this page here, you can learn about all of these different cohorts that we're offering. I'm actually going to drop this into our chat here for you guys to go take a look at if you haven't already. But this is an opportunity for you to get big savings and to join in a live group format for implementation. So like the Business Igniter, for instance, if you don't have consistent clients coming in regularly, and very importantly, if you don't have the systems or approaches in place to allow for that to become a reality, this is where we really workshop those things, get it set up inside of your AttractWell account so that you're able to bring in those new clients. This is particularly good for anyone who has a new business or who is expanding their business into a new way of working that perhaps they haven't done before. So if you have an established business or practice, for instance, and you are wanting to get clients for a new offer and you're unsure of how to go about filling that new offer, and you've never done something like that before. So for instance, maybe you're a therapist and now you're offering coaching. These are very different avenues, particularly if you work off of referrals and insurance and things like that in your primary business. You're not going to be getting clients the same way, right? So if your sort of calculations on how you get clients are something that's a question mark to you, this is going to be a really great opportunity to dial in, work together, and get your AttractWell system set up so that you're able to get those clients consistently. You can learn more about that on this page here. We're also offering something brand new. If you have a business that you don't feel that the brand is really dialed in for, right? So maybe your Instagram posts, if somebody saw those, they wouldn't be able to automatically recognize that that's something that also is related to your other social platforms that you're on, or your website, or your landing pages and things like this, right? So getting your brand dialed in is what we do in the Brand Systems Lab. It's a 4-week cohort, guys. That's $200 to do this for 4 weeks with hands-on help and getting all of these things set up in your system, including in AttractWell and in Canva. And by the way, you're going to learn about something really fun here in just a minute. We've got a new update in our system where it pertains to Canva, and we're going to go really deep into that in this cohort. So if you are DIYing your branding, highly recommend, even if you've got a little bit set up that's working okay, this is going to be a great opportunity to make sure that you're dialing it in professionally. Finally, we are offering, again, the Perennial Program Workshop. This is for you if you are workshopping a new offer, right? So if you have something existing and you're building upon, right? So you want to offer something new, or if you have something that's not selling, right? A lot of the time we know what we do, right? So maybe I already have a program, I have an offer. Well, if it's not selling and it's not filled, there are pieces that are missing. And what all of this is about is not assuming that you're starting from scratch, although you could be. It's an opportunity for you to reframe the value of what you're doing and set things up so that they sell and that you can scale them, right? So this is a half-day workshop. Most people work on a program for 6 months and then it never sells because we didn't take the right approach from the jump, right? So this is a half-day workshop that gets all of that sorted out. So you guys, there are fantastic opportunities here for massive savings. Be sure to check this out. If you are not yet an AttractWell customer, there is an extraordinary amount of value that you get from joining this time of year. So definitely be sure to head over to attractwell.com, grab a $1 trial, or take advantage of our annual bonuses that you get when you sign up for an annual plan that does come with a 30-day money-back guarantee. All right. So that is, again, that's available this week. You want to take advantage of that. Now, what I really am so very, very excited to talk with you guys about, and we're going to get into more of this next week, just FYI, this is a quick sneak peek. Greg's been hard at work. And if you've been in your system inside the last, I don't know, 24, 48 hours, you've noticed a couple of really interesting things as it relates in particular to how you build your pages. So before we get into page forms, which we're talking about in our training here today, I want to kick it over to Greg, who's going to show us something truly magical that he's been working on. Go ahead, Greg.
Awesome. Thanks, Ashley. All right. Yeah. So we've got some fun things here with the page builder. So what it comes down to is, have you ever really wished that you could just talk to the page builder or talk to your computer and tell it what to do? I know sometimes when I'm working on it, I'll be like, oh, I'm going to do that. I just want to do this. Well, now you can actually just talk to it and it'll do what you ask, which is like kind of wild. I mean, I know when I say that it doesn't even sound credible, but I'll show you here. It's pretty cool. So anywhere in the page builder, I just pulled up a random page. If you're not familiar with the page builder, it's under website and blog. Click on website pages and then pick, create a new one or edit an existing one that you might have or create one from a template. But anyway, once you get to a page in your website builders, where all the fun new features start. Anywhere basically now you click, there's this big microphone button over here to press hold and talk to edit. You can also be very specific if you just want it to be in a little spot. I'm going to go on this big overall section. You can kind of see that there's like this little glowy yellowish background. So I've got this selected here. And so I will, I'm just going to, I mean, you can type if you prefer, if you're in a noisy environment or whatever, you can always type and just hit the button. But the talking part makes it super easy. Like it's just so effortless. Like, okay, I've got this thing that's kind of off to the side. I'm gonna add a photo on the side. Add a photo on the right side of the white box here. So you just press the button, hold it down while you talk, kind of like all those. I know there's a ton of apps out there that do that. You just press and hold. And it sits and listens to you and thinks about it a little bit. And it threw in this case, my profile photo. Swap the columns and add a little more padding between the photo and the white box. You just basically tell it things to do. I mean, and it does most of them. I'm sure there's a few things that it can't do, but by and large, anything. So there, it added some space. Here's another fun one. I know the photo's oriented in the right way. I probably wouldn't do this in real life, but mirror image the photo horizontally. So, or you can say flip it or whatever you want to do. It should just like mirror image it so that Jane's little photograph here faces the other direction. There we go. We got the mirror image. You can rotate it. You can add background. You can adjust the background. Like make the white box semi see-through, and then around the corners and add a drop shadow. Let go of the button. Let's try that again. Make the white box have rounded corners. Make it slightly see-through and add a drop shadow. It's just like how many clicks would that take to make that happen? Trying to figure it out in the menu. It's all there. Yeah, it's all there. You can just go do that. But there we go. Slightly transparent, drop shadow, rounded corners, like boom, just done. You can even have it edit content. Like if you want it to, let me just talk to it here. Now I've got the editor up, so you can make adjustments to it just as you did before, of course. But watch this. So rewrite all the text. So rewrite all the text so that it's a little more exciting and a little more exciting. It's probably a better word than that, but basically it's a tone. You can like make edits to what's there, and just like completely rewrote the copy. Boom. If you don't like it, there's you can go undo it, whatever, cancel and back out of there. But it's just kind of it's some of the things it can do are kind of really amazing. So now I got to completely rewrote all the copy, flip the photos, and it took like a minute to do all this stuff, which is kind of crazy. I mean, there's other things you can do too. I mean, padding, color background. This is a really cool one. So let's try this. Actually, not on that. I'm going to cancel. See slide to cancel if you want to change it. I want to do it in the background here. Let's say I don't love this background and I want a picture of something else. Find me a photo of a cityscape and put it as the background. So just kind of tell it. It actually goes and communicates with Pixabay, which is a free, royalty-free stock image library that's out there when you say, when you have image requests. And it picked one. And of course, if you're not in love with it, which the random one might not be, it has a variety of different options here. Let's say we like this one. click it, say yes. Now it's going to go in there. It's going to swap out the background photo. You don't even have to type anything. You just held down a button and talked. It's it's really kind of amazing. And then you can always do the voice adjustments, but then you could take some of the new features and dim it up or whatever to make it a little adjust it. But anyway, I think it's some pretty great looking things within a little amount of time. So not only can it edit for you, you can edit the copy, you can edit the content. I could ask it to swap out this photo, but you can also add sections too. And I don't have a one here, so I'm going to add a quick section that says add a 2-column section in here with a photo on the left and a headline and paragraph text and a button on the right column. So you can add content too. It's not just editing what's there. It'll actually create it from you from scratch. So if you just talk to it and tell it what you want, it'll do it. In this case, apparently it suggested a photo of a horse. Sometimes, I don't know, did I say horse? But anyway, so I'll put in this little, whatever this building image is. And of course, you can just replace this with whatever you want to down the road. And when you do pick a photo, it does add it to your image library. One of the cool thing it can do here, which is pretty common, you can see this with the photo of Jane here. I just have this background selected, make the photo round, and it'll just like crop it out for you. If you want fancier frames, the image editor is available, but you can do some simple things like this too. Anyway, so it can create content. There's all sorts of things you can do. Make the buttons bigger. Move the headline above the top 2 columns. So, whoops, I'm having trouble with my clicker here today. It seems to be letting go. I think I wore out my mouse.
Hey, Greg, while that's oh, there you go.
That actually worked. Okay.
Dr. Hill asked if it's possible to ask it to pull from your Canva images.
It isn't right now, at least not through voice, but the Canva integration, the new Canva integration does let you, I think, tap into your Canva account a little bit better. I'll talk about that in a little bit more too. I'll cover Canva here in a little bit, but there's a couple other things here. So if I want to add, excuse me, some additional sections that I can do, so we've had these like accordion carousel countdown timers before. You can do that too. Add a countdown timer for 2 days from today. And it'll just go out there and make you a countdown timer for 2 days from today. It's really kind of crazy how it just like, there it is, there's your countdown timer. And then you can edit it as normal, click in there, change the actual time if you want to mess with it, change the color, all that good stuff. You can do that with the accordion and carousel and really any of these if you want to, or just describe to it what you want, put it in there, that kind of thing. So it's really just kind of amazing what you can do there. There's a couple of other features that are nice. So you can go over here and push the button too when you're editing content. But those of you who have been using like the AI writer, which is this little wand thingy up here, if you click on the wand icon, this is available anywhere, not just in the page builder, but if you're creating a course or writing your bio on your page, the AI writer, it used to just have a write option where you could sort of talk or type to it what you wanted to, and then it would give you some sort of response to use. You can still do that if you click over to the right tab, but now there's edit existing content. I showed you that a little bit ago. You can just talk and type to it with that too. But so that's like awesome if you want to rewrite an email or just write an email. It just puts it in there. It's really cool. But there's also a transcribe. If you're the type of person who'd rather talk than type, which is a lot of people, you can just hold down the button and talk, and it'll transcribe it for you. Testing 1, 2, 3. Let's see what this does when it transcribes me. Let go, and then it's going to. There's your words. Boom. Now you can do whatever you want to with it formatted or whatever you want to do. So the transcribing tool is pretty amazing there too. Great time saver. Yeah, I mean, just kind of the sky's the limit. Background colors, enlarging buttons, moving things around, adjusting padding, centering vertically. I mean, there's just like a million things you can do. Anything basically that you can describe, it should be able to do. I mean, I'm sure there's some limits somewhere, like with the Canva integration and so on, but they are. It is a really great time saver. So as far as the Canva integration, that has been updated too. So let's say if I want to change the background image, I mean, so the Canva, oops, not on the countdown timer, there's nothing there. But if I go in here into the editor, it's always been this little C button under this add design from Canva. There's also the Pixabay, which you can just search for stock photos, as you did before. And then there's Giphy if you want to search for GIFs to go with it or GIFs. And then the add design from Canva, that's under here too. It's also available like in background colors in the page editor. Like if you want to change a background image, you get this big pop-up. It shows you what's in the image library, and then you can choose, I want to add a design from Canva, Pixabay, Giphy. So if I click Canva, so this account is connected to just kind of a demo account here, but it's changed a little bit. You have to, the first time you do this, you have to connect your account, which is a little bit different than before. Before it would just sort of know that you were logged in as some account and it would see that. But now you have to actually connect it, which means you can connect more than one Canva account, which is really cool. If it is, there's a little drop down and you can choose between the account that you want to. But basically you can pick a design, and I don't think this is going to show because it opens up in a completely new window, but it just popped a new window on my computer, which you probably can't see. And then there's a return to AttractWell button. You can do all your edits there. And then, okay, so now I requested it here, and it's going to put my corny little demo image into the image library that I can use from here. And there, got a really terrible looking background image there, but hopefully there'll be a better choice. So, but yeah, yeah. Anyway,
Make sure you join us next week.
Yeah, this is just wild. Some of the things you can do. I can't wait to see what all of you come up with this design. So sort of sky's the limit.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So next week we're going to be walking through the how-tos in particular with connecting your Canva account and getting all of these things done. Another thing that Greg wasn't able to show just now, but again, promise we're going to get into it next week. You can actually ask your page builder to make another page similar to one that you already made, which is really cool. And if you go to create a page from a template, you can give some specifics about what the purpose of the page is and a little bit more details, and it can kind of generate a page for you. So you can be 60% done with the work that you're doing. Guys, it's such a huge time saver. I made a page this week, and padding is something that's really important as you're getting into the design of pages. And if you want to dial the padding in, it is okay, left side, right side, top, bottom, numbers, equal, right? It takes time. It's a lot of clicking. And God forbid you're on a mobile device and like you forgot to do something, need to fix something on the fly, what have you. This audio feature, I could just say, increase the padding inside of this white box, right? Or if I didn't know the word padding, which you might not know, and that's fine, you could say, create space between the text and the edges of this white box, and it'll know what you're saying. And that cut the time to create a page literally in half for me this week. Really, really cool. So, and yeah, this does make mobile so much easier for something like this. And honestly, you guys, I don't know that a voice AI text editor is something that exists. I think Greg invented it. So congrats, guy. That's awesome. All right. So getting back to pages, we are still on pages here today. And I do have 3 people signed up for reviews. It looks like all 3 of you are here. So I got to make sure we got plenty of time for you guys. So I'm going to get out of video. Greg will too. We'll be back to join you in just a moment. Let's get into today's content. We're going to talk about our page forms and making our pages do the heavy lifting for us, capturing, qualifying, organizing our contacts. So if you're here, you probably already know at the center, at the core of all of the functions of AttractWell lives a contact manager. And in that contact manager, all of those records are there of that person's information, but then it can be all kinds of stuff beyond just their name and their email, perhaps their phone number, right? So there's a lot that we can do with these forms. And today we're going to talk about the bigger picture of what that looks like. All right. So let me see, bear with me for just a second. All right. So here's what we're going to do. We are going to talk about how page forms are used for things like lead capture, registrations, waitlist, the more simple, obvious, maybe use cases that you might be familiar with, right? Maybe you're offering a webinar replay, maybe you're offering some kind of a download, or you have a waitlist for a course or program. That's one, super simple. We're also going to talk about what it looks like to build questionnaires or applications or onboarding type forms that you can use. And we'll talk about how we can connect other features with forms, like booking on your calendar, taking payments, applying automations, so that the follow-ups that you're doing are running on their own. You aren't having to go and hunt down people in your system and figure out what you need to do with them next. Your forms can dictate how that works if you set them up correctly. And we'll also talk about what it looks like to style our forms and to add them to our pages as embeds, like on page, display on page, or as pop-ups on AttractWell pages. And then of course, as always, live help and Q&A. So if you have questions as we're getting through here, we got a lot of folks on the call here today, don't want to miss anything. So if you have questions that you want me to answer, if you would please put those into the Q&A here on Zoom. That way I won't miss them. And if you are watching this as a replay, I hope you come join us on a future Thursday at 2 p.m. US Eastern time, totally free to anybody, attractwell.com/office hours. Work review, attractwell.com/work review is where you can take advantage of an opportunity we offer every single week to chat with us, get some eyes on your work, and work together toward your goals here on this call. It's totally free. And we have a team that will do work for you if you would like to hire them. You can learn more about what they do and how you can get started at attractwell.com/concierge. All right, so let's talk about page forms, starting with the basics, the stuff that you are probably already pretty familiar with. So that's going to be using your landing pages with page forms, using your page forms as landing pages, right? So that's creating lead magnet offers, right? So a landing page to offer a download or something similar, maybe registering for some type of an event that you don't want to use the actual events manager for, workshops, wait lists, etc. Pretty straightforward use cases. In these cases, we're going to do something really, again, simple, straightforward. We're going to collect a name, an email, perhaps a phone number, and we're going to have those, the way we set them up, it's going to write this information directly to their contact card in your AttractWell Contact Manager. What we also get to do here is sort our people based on their entries on this page. So we can automatically apply a tag so that we can find the people who registered in the future, and also apply a campaign, which is a sequence of communication automatically when someone submits the form. And then we also are going to be able to decide what the redirect looks like. So where we send them to, what the user experience is for them after they fill out the form, right? So let's go take a look at what that looks like in AttractWell, and then we'll come back and revisit some more advanced use cases. So going over here to website pages, we are going to add a new page, and this is going to be a landing or registration page. I am going to offer, let's see, I'm going to offer a download. So this is going to be the type of page. This is such a cool thing, guys. I don't know if you've seen this before. Go to landing or registration, choose one of our templates, and we're going to ask, what is it about? This is a landing or an opt-in. Special instructions for the page. This is an offer for my free recipe ebook that helps busy moms stay on track in the new year without spending all day in the kitchen. Create the page. So let's give this a moment. Isn't this cool? This is new. I've seen a lot of, I haven't seen this, haven't noticed this yet. So I'm going to give it a moment. It might take a few minutes, but we can also, just for the sake of, oh, there we go. Look at that. I love it. It's perfect. Look, I put my logo in the middle too. Oh God, I love AI sometimes. Not always, but definitely here. Check that out, you guys. So here's a landing page. Already looks pretty fantastic, right? Isn't this amazing? All right. So now we've got this more or less set up here. Now, as you can see, I've got form right here inside of a bracket. We'll get into what sort of design and everything looks like later, but it's important for you to know how you plan to have your form show up and behave. Now, depending on the page that you're offering, whatever it is from, it can be beneficial to maybe have this be a pop-up on the page. So I actually think that that lead magnets are a great option to include as a pop-up on other types of pages. So if this wasn't a dedicated landing page, and that's what this is, and perhaps this was my about page, and I wanted to pop up an offer for a free thing after someone scrolled down a certain amount of my about page, I could have something like this in place there too, in which case I might choose to have a button or choose in my settings here under leads to maybe have it pop up after a certain amount of scrolling, et cetera. So again, I don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves, but what we're doing here is we are showing the form on the page. You can see where it says add tag form where you want it to appear. And we are under, let me backtrack here for a second. We're going to page settings. That's this button right here. And we're going to leads. Now here you can see we've got a few options. The message that we show on the lead capture form, the fields and booking, that show up on that capture form, and then what happens after someone fills out the form. Now, this is again a very simple use case. So this is going to be for your wait lists, for your just general list growth, right? So your freebies, et cetera, sign up for blog updates, that kind of thing. So the message to show, you could put something here. I tend to use this lead capture message as well as the lead capture headline where I'm using a pop-up as opposed to an embed, because as you can see here, the page is actually kind of doing some of the work that would do otherwise, right? So this free recipe ebook for busy moms, if I were using this as a pop-up instead of a page embed, I would want to put free recipe ebook for busy moms and the rest of the information here, right? But I'm not doing that again because the page is handling it and I'm embedding the form on the page. Make sense? All right, so back here to settings, I am not going to be showing anything here on the message to show, but I do want to have my button here. So download now works because I am offering an ebook. And you can actually go and choose whatever the button style is that you like. And again, you can always come back over here and see what that looks like. So this is a black button that says download now. And again, in our settings, leads over here, we've got download now on a black button. You can include additional opt-in notices for email and text if you prefer, or if that's something that relates to how you would communicate with people who sign up on this particular page. All right, so that is the message to show part. Fields and booking, we're going to keep this super simple. Name, email, potentially phone. If I wanted to include phone, I would need to check this. If I wanted to require it, I would check this. And we can go back again and take a look at what that would look like. Now we have name, email, and phone. I'm actually not going to include this because I don't think for this particular business example, it's not really necessary to have a phone number. But you can choose to maybe spread out the view over several columns. Again, always just go back here to your preview. You can see where that looks like there. It's pretty cool. Yeah, so that's what that looks like. Again, super simple, name, email. What do you do after they register? Well, we need to make sure that we have a campaign attached here that delivers on the thing that we're promising. So hopefully, if you are offering an ebook, you've got a campaign that has that ebook included. I don't, so I'm going to create one. So this is my recipe ebook. That's the name of the campaign. I'm going to add a message here. Ideally, this should be an initial nurture campaign that has a number of different messages, but at the very least, we need to offer the ebook. So here's the ebook. And we can go over here to, I'm just going to use the basic email editor. I'm going to go use this here to insert. Here we go. I'm going to change this to download your ebook. And of course, in this email, we would do a lot more than just include this link. But just so you can see here, we do have a campaign that sends a message on day 0 that gives them the ebook that they're asking for, right? So I'm going to go find that ebook. There it is. Oh, sorry, that's the campaign is what I'm looking for, ebook. There we go. And where we send them to needs to be a confirmation page. And I don't have that created just yet, and I'll show you that in just a bit. But really importantly, we need to send them what they are being promised, right? So we're using a campaign to do that. And then we need to be able to tag them. So this is the mom recipe ebook, and that's how I'm going to find these people in the future. Okay. So they come in, they put in their name and email. I send them a message automatically, gives them the ebook to download. I tag them so I can find them in the future. Ideally, this campaign is also going to maybe have some additional emails that point to blog posts that I've written, introduces me a little bit more, and maybe even places stuff that I sell in front of the people who opt in for this, right? So there's more to that funnel, but we're not going to get into that on this call. I'm going to go ahead here and just go ahead and save this real quick. And I'm going to over here, I click this little down arrow and I'm going to say, make a new page like this one. And I'm going to find like a confirmation thank you page. Here we go. A thank you page. Thank you for downloading my ebook. Check your email address now for your link to download. Right? So I'll make a similar page and then I'll actually connect that and have that be the page that we redirect to. And guys, this is that feature that I was just talking about, create a similar page to one that already exists. So we'll let that do what it's doing. Oh, here we go. Edit the new page. Let's check it out. Ugh, I'm obsessed. Look at that. It's just, it's done. It's simple. It's so easy. Thank you for downloading. Check your email address now. Beautiful. What I would do just slightly differently, well, I would also add my email address to your contacts. That would also be an important thing to include. But oh, you looked away for a second. Where did you press to get the duplicate page? So real quick, it's up here, settings, and it's this little thing here. And you can go make a new page like this one is where I went. And I'll get into this more on next week's training. Don't worry. We are going to spend some time on this. So I'm going to leave out of here. And I'm going to just go and make sure that under send a lead to, thank you page for ebook download. There it is. That's the one that was made. Sweet. All right. So this is done. I can actually go and view this page and download it. There we go. There's the thank you. The message is sent to my inbox right away, right? So that is an example of using your page forms for a really simple use case. And that is, of course, again, with it being embedded right there on the page. And we'll talk about what it looks like to make this a pop-up in just a little bit. All right, so let's talk about what it looks like to collect a little bit more information, right? A little bit more advanced use cases. And this is actually part of the reason why we decided to host this training today, because there's yet another really cool thing that Greg did that expands our use of these page forms. All right. So we can collect more detailed information here. So we can collect richer information like business name, title, address, and other details that actually feed into fields in your contact manager. And we can here include long and short form questions to capture things like goals, challenges, or other answers that might help us decide whether or not this person's a fit to work with us, for example. Or for intake, we might be collecting some interesting information from them that they need to speak at length about. We've got radio buttons or drop downs where people can select one or all or some of the options that you provide. And based on their responses, we can respond to them and provide a user experience that is tailored to what they tell us, right? So where we use multiple choice options, we have the ability using the page forms in AttractWell to adapt what we're sending them and where we send them, right? What they receive from us and where they go from there, maybe how they're tagged, how we follow up with them, what they are offered, right? So we have the ability to control these things using page forms. We also can embed our calendar booking onto these forms so that, let's just say, for instance, you're doing an intake. Why not go ahead and get their call scheduled at the same time? You can do that here. And here's the new thing that Greg did that's super cool, that's been asked for a bit. So you guys got your wish granted this week. You can request that they upload a file where you need something like agreements, pre-work, or assets, or if you are someone who is maybe evaluating labs and things like that for clients, you have the ability to take that upload on this page in this same form. You can also go ahead and take payment here too. You can book a call. You can categorize and structure the way that you communicate with that client. You can enroll them onto a call package, take their payment, take their files, and everything in one go. Wild, right? Super cool. All right, so let's go take a quick look here at what that looks like in AttractWell. All right, so we are going to head back over to our pages here. And here we're going to create another new page. And this one, how would I like to set this one up? I think that this is going to be, it is going to be a registration page. I'm going to use this simple landing page. And so this is going to be a landing page here. And this is going to be a, let's see, this is going to be a combination onboarding and sales page for new clients on my 12-week program titled New Year, New Me. Okay. Let's see what it comes up with. We're going to be doing really the page form is going to be doing the bulk of the heavy lifting here. And I would argue that you could actually just have a blank page, embed the form on the page, and then just allow that to be what's there. But here we go. This is actually quite all right. So this is fine. I could keep that here. But let me actually show you how simple something like this can be. I'm going to delete everything that's here, actually. I'm going to keep my little footer section down here. That's fine. I'm going to add a section, one column, no header, right? Nothing here. Now, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to add the form tag. So here, inside of brackets, form. Super simple, right? Under settings, under leads, show it on the page, right? Actually, you know what? Yes, I am starting over from scratch. And I just realized I need to start over from scratch in a different account because I want to be able to show you guys how this incorporates payments too. So let me go ahead and hop into my own account and then we can go from there. All right. So here we go. I'm going to go create a blank page. So website pages. I'm going to click add. I'm going to click blank. And I'm just going to start from scratch. I need one section with one column with no header. When I use something, if I'm going to make a really sort of detailed form, I really just like the form to be the only thing that's on the page, right? It's too much to be busy. And we need the user experience to be something that's simple and easy. Otherwise, we're creating frustration and we don't want to frustrate people. We want them to be very happy with us because when they're happy with us, they're happy to buy from us, right? All right, so form is right here in brackets. If I go to settings and I go to leads, I'm going to click lead capture form shows on the page, right? So starting from here, I can look at my preview and see, voila, we've got a good starting point. Okay, so now let's go edit this form. So message to show, because this is the only thing I'm going to have on the page, I am going to go ahead and use this, right? So, so this is going to be, maybe I send this to someone after we've had a discovery call and they are actually a good fit and I'm going to get them started, right? So let's start your transformation. And we're going to say, let's get started. And I'm going to say, fill out the form below, select a time for our first meeting and complete payment. I'm looking forward to working with you. All right, so that's there. I'm going to go ahead and center this. I'm going to say done. And you know what? I kind of want to center the form itself too on the page. Here, let me edit. Well, that's not what I want to do. All right, I'm just going to let it be what it is. It's fine. Here, let's just preview here. Yeah, because if we have form centered in that field, this would be centered too. So I'm going to just make my life a little bit easier here because form is the only content that's inside of this thing. And so it's just popping up here to have me edit the form. So what I'm going to do is add a new section. Okay. There we go. Add a new one column section. So what I'm actually going to do here is I'm going to center this and I'm going to put the form in there because it's going to look nicer. You are getting a little bit of the design training here as I'm doing this demo. Because I really do think it's important, like for you to be able to dial it in, right? So you see how that's all centered now? I like that better. I think it looks nice. All right, so we go to settings. We've given our instructions. We have the lead capture headline. We have the call to action button. We can choose the color. I'm going to go orange here. Oh, yes, I could have told it to center it. I am not used to using this awesome feature. That would have been the smart move. All right, so I am going to show a booking form. So I'm going to go ahead and grab this calendar booking form here. And this is going to be, sure, this is my 6-week strategy series. I'm going to show it below the fields because I want them to fill out their information first, then pick their time, then we'll take payment. We'll get to all of that soon. Over here under add field, maybe I'm a B2B coach. So here, this is going to be short text, and I need to feed this into their company name, right? So I'm going to put company name here. These are all going to be required. I'm going to add another field, also short text. I am going to get their title. because again, I'm B2B in this example. So short text, required, company name and title. These things are going to actually populate on the contact card, which is super cool. You can also include things like their address, state, country, postal code. If you are a network marketer and you have that feature turned on, you can put a member ID in here too, which is kind of cool. I'm going to actually start getting into our longer text. So here with long text, I'm going to ask a question, describe something, right? So whatever that is, I'm going to give them a long text option here so that they can speak at length about something. Maybe I want to give them choose one of the following. And here we can get into a list, pick one. Here I can go to edit list. And this is where it gets really interesting. So understand that right now I'm demonstrating a use case for like a client intake, but maybe you are using something like this to qualify leads. Maybe you have an offer that you only make to people who match certain criteria, right? So this is where you could do something like this. Or maybe you are someone who offers an array of different types of information and you want them to be able to self-select what it is that they are most interested in receiving from you. So this would be an example of that as well. So again, what we're looking at here is we're choosing a list option, list one or pick multiple or drop down list. All of these provide you the option to tailor how that person is categorized as a contact. So like with their tags and how they're communicated with things like automations, that apply campaigns, or how you're reminded to follow up with them with something like a follow-up plan. Maybe they're added to a vault or to a secondary campaign, lots of different options, right? So we're going to go to one of these list options. I'm going to use a list pick one. And I'm going to go to edit list. And I'm going to add item. And so I'm not going to spend a ton of time on this, but I'm going to give 3 options. And I'm going to click this little tag guy here and open these up so you can see them. Oops, here we go. So here, this is where the conditional response comes into play. So if someone chooses this option, I want to tag them with that perhaps. So maybe this is a general interest form and you're talking to people who are all business owners, but maybe they're at different stages of growth, right? So maybe they are this one. I want to tag them with that one. Maybe I have a special campaign that I attach and send to those folks, right? Maybe I offer them something different, right? So there's lots of different options here. So you can tag them based on what they choose. If that's important to you, you can adjust the campaign that you send to them based on what they choose, right? So all of this is really cool. And you can attach automations that might, again, provide different options for them and for you to be able to follow up with them based on their responses, right? Now, if this is, again, like a client intake, I want to require an upload, right? So upload your labs here for my review, perhaps. I'll require all of these. This one, I'm going to select file upload, and these should be documents or images. Pretty cool, right? So I can have these all in one column. I could also have them in 2. Let's take a look at what that looks like. All right, I don't necessarily love them in 2 columns, especially since I did this centered thing. So I'm going to actually just keep them all in one. I think it'll look nicer on mobile that way anyway. And then after they register, we have to decide. Yeah, there's an audio upload too. That's right. Yeah. And so yeah, you can choose any type of file. So if they're uploading something different, then it could be any if you want to keep it open-ended. But if you want to specify this must be a document, right? So this is an agreement and it needs to be in a certain file format, then well, obviously we don't have it super crazy dialed in, but it needs to be a document. If it's a document, it'll be an image if it's an image, etc. Oh, Dr. Hill, I'm so happy to hear that. Yeah, this has been on the wait list or the wish list rather for some time. All right, yeah. So once we have this all worked out, really important to note, if you are using this list option that might apply different campaigns to your contact, understand that it is probably going to be best to choose no campaign right here, because whatever they're choosing from here is going to apply a campaign to them, right? Also, if you are maybe applying a campaign or sending emails based on your booking setup, right? So in this case, this is a call package and the way that it's set up. If this applies a campaign, you would also want to add no campaign here. So just be mindful of sort of what the collection of actions are going to look like and what the responses will be. Now, I'm not going to actually add a tag here because I'm going to make this a payment page as well. I'm just going to throw it all into one for you guys for an example. I am not going to be using a vault in this instance, but you could, should you wish to. And I would prefer to send them to a confirmation page. So let me find there's a strategy called appointment confirmation. I'm going to use that for now. Obviously use one that's best for your use case. Now, normally I would add a tag here if this wasn't a payment situation, but this is a payment situation. So what I need to do is scroll on up here and go to the payments tab. Now, before I do that, let's take a look at what this is looking like. It looks like nothing right here, right? But if we go and we check out our preview, you can see that we are offering name, email, phone, company name, title, describe this thing, choose one of the following, upload this information, go ahead and pick your time. And right now they could just get started, but they got to pay for our time, right? So let's go over here to settings. Let's go to the payments tab. We'll require payment with Stripe. We'll add a payment option, and this is going to be the 6-week strategy series. I charge $1,000 for that. I'm going to tag them with 6-week strategy series here. And I am going to attach my campaign. Maybe this is the campaign that I use here for when they get started. Vaults are purchased separately. I click done. I click save. Oh, I got to give it a name. All right. 6-week intake and booking. All right. So I'm going to give that a name and save it and view it. So let's go take a look at that. Now, if we go down, now obviously we've got the payment option here that's selected. If you had a coupon code, that would show up here as well. Everything is centered because I centered the form tag. In hindsight, just given the way this looks, maybe I wouldn't do that. If you're doing multiple choice like radio buttons like this without more copy, obviously it would look nicer if I had more words there. But you can see here, we've got all of their information that we gather first, even their file upload. They put in their payment information and they go ahead and book their call with you, and then they can get started. Pretty wild, right? So you can do all of these things, and you don't have to do all of them at once, like I'm showing you here, but you can do all of these things with page forms, and you can bundle them together as it makes sense for your business, right? So if you want to do just, one aspect of what I was just sharing with you, you can, or you could bundle them all together like I showed you. All right. So another option that you could use here is for like testimonials, check-ins, progress tracking. You can use these forms to collect testimonials, their wins, and transformation stories. So using those long and short form responses, as well as the upload your photo here as an example, right? Or put your website link in here or your social links, et cetera, right? If you want to actually really build out something like this. You can also include permission checkboxes so that you can safely reuse those stories in your marketing. And then you could also use these to send progress check-in forms mid-program to see who's stuck, who's ready for next steps, et cetera, right? So again, this isn't just about leads. This is something that you can use for existing clients who are in your programs, whether you're looking to capture their information throughout the process, or you are maybe looking to capture information indicating their success that you could use in your marketing, right? And always, again, know that you can use those tags to easily sort your people, and you can use automations to apply things like follow-up plans so that that contact is one that you are told to reach out to, right? Now, I did go over a fair number of these things, but just know where it comes to embedding, designing, and using these as embeds or pop-ups, you obviously want to make sure that your form fields are set up so that everything is doing exactly what it should be, feeding into the contact card. And then you use that page builder to style any headings, spacing, and layout. So like where you want the form. And then you can, like I just showed you with that last example, use this as standalone content for your pages. You can embed them into sections, or you could use them as timed pop-ups. So if this is something that you're using, maybe with like an exit intent purpose, say like on a home page. So if we go over to here, let me actually get into the Jane account here. And there we go. And we'll go just real quickly, and I'm going to start bringing you guys out to chat. Yeah, so if we go to like her home page, I'll show you an example of where it would make sense to. Here we go. So we have a button here on this page. So if we go to look at the preview, when we join the challenge, it has this pop-up, right? And that pop-up is a really great thing to have on longer form pages that you use. So that pop-up you have right here, so lead capture form shows on pop-up. If you want that to be the case, you come over here to your button that you have on the page and just make sure that the URL field says hashtag lead lowercase. And that is going to cause it to pop up. If you want it to pop up elsewhere, or for other reasons, right? If you aren't even using a button, for instance, if we open up this right here, this message to show and scroll down, you also have the option to use exit intent. So if a visitor tries to leave the page, then it pops up. Or if they scroll past a certain amount of the page, it pops up. Or if a certain amount of time has lapsed, it pops up, right? When you're using a pop-up, you don't necessarily need to link the button on the page. But obviously, if you want to, with a call to action, then you can and should. All right. Now, remember, we are going to be getting into a lot of detail on page editing, specifically with this new voice feature and the new Canva integrations that we have as well. We'll be doing that next week. So make sure that you join us next week so that we can get through that together and you guys can understand how to use all of these awesome new features that Greg has plugged in. All right, so I have actually 3 people signed up for a review today. So Jen, I think this is you. Yeah, Jen, let me go ahead and bring you out to chat. How can we help today?
I unfortunately have to hop off.
Okay.
I have somewhere to be, so I'll just have to come on another call.
Okay, well, shoot us a message. We do have other options that that are small group that may fit your schedule better. So yeah, shoot us a message and we can work something out.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, sure thing. All right, let me see, Sean. Let me find you here. There you
Hello.
go. Hi.
Hello. How's it going?
Great. How can we help?
Well, I don't know. I'm new to this.
Okay.
Honestly, what I did was I did a search, a Google search, that included something to the effect of, um, I am trying to figure out how to establish myself as a business coach. I have some unique qualities. I'm a 36-year career accountant, and I deal a lot in small businesses. And I find myself in the last, 30 plus years or whatever, answering the same questions over and over and over and over again. And also, so wanting to be able to provide that information to people, and if I can monetize it, great. Or if I can convert those people to new clients for our firm, that would be great. We're kind of an international based firm. We have clients all over the country and some outside of the country. So, but yeah, I just like having a phone conversation the other day with a client. I had to kind of explain to him that no, what he has in his bank account isn't what he actually made this year. It's kind of what's left over, that kind of stuff.
Hmm.
So, just
Right.
basic like that. And I figured, I'm also a lifelong martial arts coach. So I am familiar with coaching, and that's actually probably one of the things I enjoy the most, and is coaching, athletes and competitors and whatnot. And so I figured, well, I'm good at that. I'm passionate about that. I'm also really good at what I do as a career, and why not see if I can start coaching? So that's what put in this, not that whole thing, but that's basically what I
Sure.
put in the search engine, and then
Yeah.
your website came up, and so I just shot a quick message to the online message bot or whatever, and it came back with your name and to register for this webinar, and so here I am.
Excellent. All right. Well, that's so cool to hear. And actually, the person who I'll be bringing out in here in just a moment to chat as well. You'll get some ideas from her. Angeline is also an accountant that is moved into coaching, but is still working with those clients as well. So I definitely see a lot of really cool potential with what you're talking about. Sensayshawn.com or something.
Well, people
But
just called me Coach Sean, but yeah.
yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, with our platform, you could really do all of those things. You can serve your accounting clients from a from like a human management perspective, right? Like I know a lot of your specific tools, accounting tools that you use aren't necessarily something that would integrate here, but in terms of being able to just manage the interaction, communication, and progress of clients is something that you could do with us. But where you're talking about getting into coaching, maybe selling courses, things like this, that's really what AttractWell is built for.
Right.
So if you wanted to create a program and sell it here, I mean, essentially what we have, because I assume you don't have an AttractWell account yet, right?
I don't have an AttractWell
Yeah.
account, and I don't have any idea as far as how to even get out there and put myself out there. I see all this stuff, and I'm sure the person on the call here too, who's an accountant, has also seen it. But I see a lot of nonsense being posted online and in Instagram and all these short little reels telling people they can do stuff that they absolutely should not be doing. And I feel like I don't necessarily want to. There are people out there that come out on and debunk all these other individuals, and that's not really what I'm interested in. What I'm more interested in is kind of educating people on, what it is to have finances and what it actually means. I mean, I
Yeah.
explain to the same people over and over again what an income statement is and why it's important, or what a balance sheet is and why it's important. And then the other thing that led me to you guys, as far as the coaching aspect of it, is like how do I get myself out there, and especially how do I get myself out there to the younger crowd, because I mean,
Mm.
I'm in my mid 50s, and so I've been doing this a long time. But um, there's a younger crowd out there, and right now there's a big push in our country for people to get into trades, because that has kind of gone by the wayside, where the young people are not becoming plumbers and electricians and all this stuff. And I feel like that there's going to be an influx in those types of businesses, and these
Hmm.
kids don't get taught this stuff in school.
Yeah,
And
no, they don't.
right. So anyway, that's where I
Yeah.
stand. I don't know if that
Yeah.
was a really
So
long answer to any question, but
well, you landed in the right place. I'm so glad that you found us. We have tons of information out there that's free. I think that for what you're looking for, if you're wanting to really lock into this, some of those specials that I mentioned at the top of the call, in
mhm.
particular, if you were to get started with us with an annual plan, that's going to get you access to the Impact Amplifier Academy. And inside of there, they're all pre-recorded, and you can go through them at your pace when you need them. But I really do kind of walk through the soup to nuts of conceptualizing your brand, and getting your out to market, your get to market strategy put together. Like all of that is there. And so if you were to choose to get started with us, it is 30-day money back guarantee, and you get access to all of that. And we do have those live cohorts as well. I think the Business Igniter would be an exceptional option for you too, because you're creating a new offer and trying to figure out how to position it in front of new people.
Mhm.
But absent that, I mean, just, putting $1 down and getting started with us and starting to build this stuff out. You've got a wealth of resources. Our communities here, we don't gatekeep. We don't, like, when we sell information programs like what we're doing with the coaching in the first of the year, it's not really about anything other than covering the costs of running it for us,
Okay.
because we believe that if we're selling you the tools, like we want you to use them, because we want you to be successful, because you stick around and that's good for us. You know what I mean? So yeah, no, you're in the right place. You got a great community here that could help you. But I would say, just as a starting point, is if you've got some stories of people that you have helped, that kind of are representative of this maybe younger or trade focused avatar that you would like to reach. Really spending some time thinking about who that person is and where they spend time. If they're younger, this is going to be short form content, like videos,
Right.
that you want to start maybe thinking about doing, for like TikTok and things like that, and Instagram, because that's how a lot of the younger people are getting their content, and that's kind of what you're competing with. That's where the misinformation is living, right?
Mhm.
So, putting some thought into where they are, and most importantly, above all else, is the best starting point is for you to show proof that someone like them has been helped by you, right? And you probably have something like that available, and that would be I think, a really good starting point.
Okay. Great.
All right. Well, we look forward to seeing you around some more, Sean. Thanks for coming out.
Yep.
All right, Angeline, thank you for your patience. I am so excited that you showed up on today's call here to chat about your work. What are we looking
Oh,
at today?
can you hear me?
I can.
Oh, wonderful. I was afraid the other microphone was on. I am hosting a workshop, so I'm finally putting something out here. I've been twirling and twirling and working with my accounting clients, but I have some room to do some of this work. And so I just set up, I used your summit video with the checklist to set everything up. And
Mhm.
I'd just like for you to take a quick look at it. It's under billable capacity is
Is
the
this your bookkeeping or your strategies
this is
account with us?
strategy.
Okay. All right, let me grab that. Okay. And this is a page that I'm looking for,
Yeah,
correct?
the page is if you put in capacity in the search, you'll
Hmm.
see the billable capacity page.
Okay. All right. Let's take a look at this published. Okay. Just a tiny little design thing for the top. I
Mhm.
would try to get this image with a transparent background, which you could actually do with AttractWell now. That's a new thing that you can do with us. And I would
Oh,
increase the padding of this section just a little bit more. So there's just a little bit more
okay.
blue beneath here and on the top. More padding
Okay.
is always your friend because it just gives the eye breathing room.
Okay.
All right. Excellent. Okay. Fabulous. All right. Oh, that's a great photo of you. Um, Honestly, I think across the board, the like really the main thing I would say is throughout this page is just to just give it a little bit more padding. Just give the content a little bit more space. But in
Okay.
terms of the volume of content, this is excellent. It's not overly wordy. I think that where you've got your calls to action here, like this blue, is a really nice contrast. I do
Okay.
like that 10 spots only, and that's how you're specifying that. That's really nice. Um, Let me see. Love it. Because we're using a pop-up. We've got that up here. This looks good. Great. No, this is really, really good. So what I would maybe do is now that you know about this little voice thing here, is we can say, let me hit allow here, increase the padding at the top and bottom of this section and just let it do the work for you. I wonder if it'll take that white out of that image. Yeah, that's much better. Look at that. All right, now let's see. Remove the white
Gray
background
is
from
on
this image.
purpose. I don't know if you know that that gray area is on purpose.
Oh, what is? I'm sorry, I lost you
The
on the audio.
circle there within the
Uh,
white.
Oh no, that's not what I wanted to do. Hold on, let me go back. Okay. The circle within the, I'm sorry?
Yeah, that gray. I don't know if you said something about remove something, and I just wanted to point out that that was actually part of the design because it
The,
brings all of them together.
oh yeah, yeah, no, I want that gray there.
Oh,
Absolutely.
okay, okay,
Yeah, yeah. No, definitely want that gray there. My suggestion is really that we remove the white that's in the square so that the gray,
oh,
that circle is really
okay.
like,
Yeah,
yeah,
I can do that in Canva. If you click the
yeah.
button, if you click that button, just for a minute, where it
Which one?
says secure your seat,
Uh-huh.
th-
Oh, you mean
that
like on the page itself
yes, on
or?
the page itself. I'm sorry.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
So that image right there is why I made that a circle, is because this is
Mm,
the actual, if you want to use the old school term, flyer. This
yes.
is, I pulled that image off of that and put it on the sales page. So I made
Yeah.
it a circle because I didn't want two squares there. So,
Yeah. No, that
um,
makes sense. That makes sense. No, and I think that this is fine here. I mean, this is actually good. This looks good.
okay,
Yeah. This is totally fine. Um,
okay,
yeah, so actually I mean, and even if we just, if we save this and take a look at it again over here, even that like little addition of the blue, it kind of takes
Okay.
everything as truly just being above the fold. And
Gotcha.
then
Okay.
yeah, so I would re-upload this just with that gray circle. So when you're in Canva, you would save it with a transparent background, and so it would just be that circle. And then once you
Oh,
do
I see
that,
what you mean. You just the circle. I can go into
yeah,
Canva. Okay, I got it. Okay, yeah, I can do
yeah.
that.
And then let's see if we have also the other thing that I would do once you have that uploaded is maybe use that voice control to ask
Hmm.
it to make sure that the both columns are centered vertically. So this way you see how
Okay.
this kind of starts a little bit higher up than this.
Yeah,
Then they could
yeah.
kind of be on the same level. And that's something that I find a little challenging to do with manual controls. And if you could just tell it to do it, oh, it's so good. So
Okay.
yeah. But yeah, no,
Excellent.
this is it's really good. I like how you have that set up. You could maybe ask it to vertically center this as well, this image,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
And again, I
Yes.
would add, just a little bit more padding. Yeah, just a little more padding
Okay.
to the top and bottom of all of the sections that have written content. And that's just going to create just a little bit more flow. And I think it's going to increase the receptivity to the volume of copy that's on the page.
Okay. I have one best practices question. Initially, I was going to give them access to the vault on the day of the workshop, but
Mhm.
I could give them access immediately and just upload the workshop packet on the day of.
You could.
Is that a best practice? Because then that'll give them an opportunity to see what's inside, and I can add some freebies, and that helps me get my membership going. So
Yes.
if I
Yeah,
get them in
that's
there early, um,
if you have something to give them right
yeah, I
if there's
do.
something that they can have right away, absolutely put them in right
Okay.
away because that's going to reinforce their good decision, right? That's
Yes.
going to be better for retention and not getting having to deal with refund conversations. So yeah, if you have
Mhm.
something you can put them into that they can get started with, that's also kind of a selling point, right? Like you get access to your bonuses right away.
Okay. And then my other question is about because I'm using my own Zoom account. Is there a way to get the calendar invite, not the actual link in the email campaign, but the calendar invite?
Mm.
Right now, I
So
just instruct them to save it on their calendar as part of the email.
yeah, so this is actually where I use this free service. And it is, we've talked about this on a few calls, ical.meridot.com. I'm going to copy this and put it into the chat here. And Jess, if you're available to stick around for just a little bit, I would be happy to bring you out. I don't see you down for last week. I just looked at the calendar, and maybe there was some disconnect there. But if you need help, you can get help today. So if you're willing to stick around, I'm willing to help. So yeah, Angeline, you would create an event in here, and what it's going to do is provide you with a file that you can download and then upload into your files section in AttractWell.
Hmm.
So you'd put that right here in your file section. And it would be an ICS file. So it's going to give you an ICS file. And then in
Okay.
your campaign message or inside of the vault or wherever you want to put this, you can have a link and say, add these calls to your calendar or add this call to your calendar. And when they click it, it'll actually open up whatever their calendar software is and allow them to add it.
Okay. And what is that website again?
Yeah, I just popped it into the chat. It's
Oh,
ical.meridot.com. It's totally free. And this is what I use when I create, especially if I've got like a coaching program that's got like a bunch of calls that I want people to
hmm.
be able to add on to, or actually for hours, when you see a link, add these calls to your calendar in the emails that we send you, that's created with this as well.
Okay. Okay. Wonderful.
Yeah.
Okay, well, thank you. I won't take up much more of your time. I did have a list of questions here, but I think I got them all answered. Um, uh, yep, that's it.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
Well,
yeah, thank you.
excellent. I hope you fill this program. You're doing great work.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, Jess, let me go ahead and bring you out. How can we help?
Hi there. Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm like, I feel like I'm brand new to AttractWell. I've been here a month and just figuring things out. And I don't know how I signed up or thought I did, but I'm kind of wondering with some of the new systems or the Black Friday offers. I have I have like a logo package. I have all my logo stuff figured out, colors, brands. I have a lot of copy ready. I have my offer that I've been doing about a year with that. I'm a breath coach and I have that offer. I think I'm just a little overwhelmed with exactly where to get started because I am also like in the middle of shifting my brand name from a previous website to AttractWell and things like that. And so I'd really love to launch in the new year with things a little bit transferred and cleaned up.
Mhm.
And I'm just wondering, like, I don't want to sign up for one of the Black Friday things. And it's like, I've already done what the content is and I've read over them several times. But with that limited amount of information, do you have just maybe start here? Like, I've looked at
Yeah.
the Academy, like Success Academy, and tried to watch
Mhm.
some of those videos. And even some of those, I'm just like, that's so much great information. Just like, I don't know where to start.
Right. It's great information, but it's clutter if it's not what you need right now. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So do you currently have a way to sell and deliver your offer right now?
I do. I have all of that on my old website. Yeah. So that's what I need to figure
But
out
you're
where to start without having to create a brand new website. Because I want to I had a Squarespace website
Mhm.
with and I've already got my domain connected to that. So eventually I want to connect my domain to the AttractWell.
Mhm.
So very like limited, like I have a contact me button, a discovery call kind of thing. And then my main service is a 4-week breath coaching and then goes into a longer option later. But like all that set up through Squarespace. Does that answer the question?
Yes. So in terms of AttractWell and using AttractWell, what would you say your top priority is? Is it to migrate first, or do you want to build something new with us first?
Probably like migrate over just to that's what I don't know. I want to be able to like start pushing on social media with clarity
Mhm.
to get them onto the system that I've done within AttractWell. So
Got
like
you.
kind of
And
the bare bones of where to start in AttractWell to sell my breath coaching offer of 4 weeks, essentially.
excellent. Okay. So if it's already the offer's already dialed in, it's already figured out, you've sold it before, you know how to sell it well, you have all the copy to sell it, et cetera. It's just a matter of setting it up and making the offer. In Get Oiling, the client funnel challenge is going to be, I think, in terms of like a holistic strategy to pull everything together that you need to sell and to create those automated pathways towards sales and understanding what that looks like in the context of like how you promote. That's going to probably be the most helpful for you because it's going to walk you through, right? Like you want to be able to sell your breath coaching offer, but in order to get people to even pay attention and care what that is, they need more trust in you. They need to know you better, right? And so in order to build that trust first, obviously we do need to show up on social, but we need another step. There's a step in between, right? And so the client funnel challenge actually teaches you how to figure out what that step is. It's going to be some kind of a lead magnet, right? Where you're collecting
Mhm.
leads and nurturing them. And those who are very ready right now, we provide them an opportunity to move forward toward a purchase, whatever the option looks like for you, whether you need to have a discussion with them or it's just automated. Both of those options are available in the client funnel challenge, and this is free. It's in your account. It's there in the Success Academy. Um,
Okay.
so yeah, if your brand is already clear, you already know the palette and the images and all. If all of that's worked out, then and the offer is worked out, then you could just follow the steps in the client funnel challenge and get your funnel set up so that you are actually out there collecting leads, taking the ones who are ready right now, putting them in front of the offer, and taking the ones who aren't ready yet and moving them onto your list for long-term nurture.
Yeah, that's super helpful. Yes, because that's like the missing step because I've essentially just let a random I mean, I've just been built very slowly and just
Mm-hmm.
let those come very organically. And I've been really hesitant to make it automated because I want just so badly like the personal contact. But I get that it still needs to be that this step is still needed. And then you know, my one-on-one coaching is going to be the personal contact that I can't just go meet everybody in the world and
Yeah, right. Yeah.
yeah, meet their needs in that way. So
You
yeah,
got to put those filters up. Yeah.
yeah.
there's always going to be that one person who's ready right now, but for that one person there's 70 other people who aren't yet, and when we can't overlook those people, we need to make sure that we retain the ability to be in touch with them and to build trust with them until they become that person that's ready. And that's really what it's all about. It is very much a long game. But it does, like, the reason why we set up the client funnel challenge the way we do, and the reason it's as successful as it is that it accounts for both, right? That like 1% person and then the 99% as well. So they get placed in front of an opportunity to convert right away. But then if they don't convert, we're still providing a way for them to feel more comfortable, to build more trust, to build more interest, and then move in that direction. So I would say the client funnel challenge is a really great free option. If you already have everything dialed in, and again, if you've sold it before and you're confident in how well it's structured and presented to sell, then that's that. I'd say that's really the only thing that you need to be focusing on putting in place, because that determines what you share, what you put out there. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And then just like designing all the stuff, which I think I missed the beginning of the video, but I'll go back and watch as far as like how to help the automated, and everybody seems so excited about it. So I'm really fortunate to jump in right when that's offered.
Well, come back next week, because we're going to do like, we're going to break it all down next week. We're going to go through the new Canva integration, and we'll explore some more of these AI powered page creation features. Because if you're about to do the client funnel challenge or really embark on any building project in AttractWell, this voice thing is just such a game changer. So
yes, thank you so much. I appreciate your time so much.
Yeah,
thank you.
Absolutely. Thanks for coming out. All right, mapping form fields, Denny, was just an overly flourishing way for me to say, make sure you have all the fields that you want to have in your form that connect to the places on the contact card that you want them. So if you want to collect their business name, their title, stuff like that, that's kind of mapping on, I want to capture this information and I want to go to this place. Most of the time in a contact card, everything's going to go to past actions. So those long form answers, things that they select, that's going to go into just the past actions section in your contact card. But you do have a few other fields that you can map to, like I mentioned, the title and company, but also address and things like that. All right, Dr. Hill, I don't know if you got any feedback on this, but we're still here. Why not? Hey, you mentioned here, because you're here, let's go ahead and I'll bring you out here to talk real quick. You mentioned here in the Q&A that there was a booking that people seem to never see.
Correct.
Yeah, tell me about that.
So I have an emotional clearing booking, and it's only that one that people book. And I guess even though I have it clicked that they have to pay before they actually book, it still, I don't know if it's like a lag or what's happening, but they all tell me like, well, I didn't get the payment page. And then one person finally told me, there's actually, it says, please wait while we connect you to the payment page, but they're actually booked already. So it's really weird. So most people now know to wait, but it's like this lag, and I don't know how to fix that.
All right. This is Tracy, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Hi. All right. So what is the name of the page in your account?
It's the booking title is emotional clearing.
Okay. So it's a booking link that you have on your site. Okay. So,
Yes.
so this is the booking type, emotional clearing. Okay.
That one.
Okay. Okay. I see. So people are arriving here and they aren't realizing that they need to go to the payment page first.
Okay.
Is that right? Like, is that?
Well, when I tried it, so like, I went through the process, and
How are
when
they
I
finding
did
it? Like how, like from your website are they?
I grab the link and share it mostly.
Got you. Okay. Okay. But you don't want people booking unless they've paid, right?
Yeah. So the problem becomes like, I booked, but I didn't get to pay. So then I'm either sharing my Venmo or like it's just kind of it's sloppy.
Got you. Understood. All right. So then this is just a matter of order of operations then. What I would encourage you to do is to create a page, kind of like we showed today, that embeds. So I'm just going to start from blank here. We'll create a page that you can share that includes, and I'm going to use a one column section and put the form in here. And so what I would do here is under settings, leads, fields and booking. This is where I'm actually going to go and grab that emotional clearing here and any information you want to get from them. But let's also go here, to payments, and we'll create a payment option here. You can go back and change this if you want. Emotional clearing, there we go. Done, save. This is okay. So when we look at this page now, oh, you know what I didn't do? Leads on the page, voila. Okay. Now we can view it. Perfect. Okay. So here we have, and we actually can remove payment page from this now. They can choose their date and time, they can put in their name, and they pay.
Oh, weird.
So,
okay, I thought I did that right, but I guess I didn't.
do you have another page where you might have done this? I didn't actually look through your website pages.
So if you go to the original one, that payment thing at the bottom, I guess, or if you go and pick a date, like you just pick any date, you'll see that it then, I believe, to like send you over to the payment page. So it's not all on one actual page.
Got you. Yeah. So here, so this is actually just going to a Stripe option for folks to purchase. And if they were to do that first, it wouldn't necessarily redirect them here, or rather to this booking type. So what I would do is remove this from here, and any sort of, I wouldn't send them here. I would actually, when you're embedding on a page, like I've done here, this page is going to override things like this. Right. So, but what I would do though, is I would not include this here, because what you're doing when you're sharing this, a link to this booking type itself, is you're allowing them to bypass payment. Right. So the better workflow would be to go ahead and have them fill out all their information, book and pay on the same page.
Okay. So, can you briefly just say what I have versus what I should do? Like on the left-hand column, the main.
Yeah. Well, actually, I just made it for you, so you could just edit it.
Thank you.
Yeah. So what you want to make sure that you're doing it moving forward, and let me just go ahead and double check that, like, the confirmation and everything here. Okay, yeah. So this is fine. So instead of sharing the booking type, so that's what you've been doing. You've been sharing the link directly to the calendar. What you want to do instead is to go to your pages, and the one I just created, I'm just going to type in booking. Here we go. Emotional clearing booking. Right. And now you don't need a separate payment page for that either. It just says form. Look, it doesn't look like anything, but when you look at it here, you can see that the calendar's there. The intake form is there, and the payment shows up on the published page. It doesn't show a payment pop up. Yeah.
Okay. So from the pages, not from the booking type.
That's right.
I thought sharing from the booking type. Okay.
Yeah. And I'm actually going to change this to the calendar below the fields as well. I think that's probably a better. Yeah. So we get their information, and it's clear to them that they've got to pay. They put in their information, they pay, they pick their date, they book. You can change that order too if you want.
Okay, cool.
But yeah, it's just called emotional clearing booking, and you can start using that page now.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, thanks so much.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Thank you guys for sticking around and being amazing people who inspire us to do the work that we do. We're looking forward to being back here next week, where we can go in depth on all of these awesome things that Greg has just added to your design capacity. Really excited to get into this. So go play with that and come back next week, and we'll do it some more. Really appreciate you guys. And in the meantime, we'll see you in the group. Have a great week, everybody.